Hello everybody, welcome to this amazing game of Astellia. I do apologize, compared to my first video, it's going to be a bit of an echo. I did move since then, it's been a little bit rough trying to get these videos out, just because I've been very busy. Finally got to doing this, and this page is a lot longer, so I do forgive me for the long wait, but the other pages will come by a lot faster. And with that out of the way, if you have not yet seen the first page guide because you just want the second page, the first page guide breaks down how all of these items work in a lot more detail than I'm going to go over right now. Instead, I'm just going to show you where to get it and briefly cover it because we got a lot more to go. So we'll be starting with the hidden boxes. Our first area is Addison Farm. This is right when you come out of Ragferant into Randelio. The first chest will be at the entrance of Addison Farm. There's going to be a cart right here next to Natua. She gives a blue quest. The chest is right there. The second chest found at this giant windmill on the side in the grass. If you can see, it's right there, next to the two quest givers. Our third and final chest will be on the far end over here, behind the big building. And there is our third and final chest. Next up, we have Frail Village. Before I do this one, it is Halloween, so unfortunately it may look just slightly different with pumpkins and a bit of decor, but it all should still be about the same. Here we have 5 chests, and you'll find most of them at the entrance actually. So coming from Addison Farm, crossing the entrance bridge into Frail Village, making a left. We're gonna go over here, and under this little canopy you can see the chest is right there. That'll be our first one. Not too far from there, the Chef Babe. Right here, we have a chest kind of right here next to him. From there, we're going to move forward across the way. I believe this is the auction house. The auction house, there's a chest actually up on this storage bin area over here. Go around the auction house and you'll find another chest back over here. And the final chest for Frail Village is found right next to a windmill on the cliff. And this will be our final chest for Frail Village. Our next area is the Northern Frail Grasslands. Taking the southwest exit of Frail Village, you'll come into Patty's farm. On the right here with Patty, go into this building here. Inside the building on your right, in the back, will be your chest. From there, it's a long journey into the Northern Frail Grasslands, so just follow along. Once we see the giant flag, keep going straight from the path. Do not follow the path. You'll see some brush over here on the right. There would be our next chest. Then we'll just go ahead and keep heading south, get back on the path, and just follow along. Once you pass the bridge, look to your left. There are stone structures that will be part of a story quest. Behind the large stone structure, you'll find one of the chests. From here, go straight along the wall, and right behind this tree, you will find the final chest of Northern Frail Grasslands. Walking into Southern Frail Grasslands from the northern portion, you're going to make an immediate right and follow the wall around. There is a scenario dungeon over here, and to the left of that is our first chest. Normally up on this hill over here, you'd have to go around. We're going to take a bit of a shortcut, so if you can't follow this for whatever reason, just follow the path around up to these tents. I just jump up here with my mount, and the tent right here will have your chest back over there behind the archer. From here, we're gonna go back off the cliff and towards the quest location, this small little tent over here. Inside that tent will be another chest. It'll be located on your left side here. The final chest is out and to the left, or well, right of the tent, but make a left. And go out towards this open cliff. Beautiful scenery, but the final chest can be found here. Onto the Western Ancient Forest. Coming out of Southern Frail Grasslands, you'll see a campfire right here and the chest right next to that. From here, follow the main path until we get to the area that has all the quest givers. Before getting into this small bit, make a left and follow the wall. You'll see 3 little mushrooms, and behind them would be your chest. From here, stay along the left wall and just follow it all the way to the other side. As we get closer over here, you'll see the chest is right on the ledge under the root next to Tree Spirit Urk, which is one of the quest enemies. From here, we're going to get back onto the main road and then head back towards the quest givers. And here you'll see to our left this fallen tree arc, 2 palm trees. I believe it is behind the second one to our left, and it'd be right there, and that should cover you for this area. For the Eastern Ancient Forest chests, there are 2. Coming right out of the Western Ancient Forest exit into Eastern Ancient Forest, we're going to follow the path, but then kind of veer off to the right a bit here, where these trees are, the big roots, and just follow it around to be on a small rock on the right side wall. From here, just look at this little mossy area and walk straight over there. In the crevice under here, you can see it's right there, and that'll be your second chest. For the Mushroom Vine Village, there are a total of 3 chests, starting at the west entrance from the Eastern Ancient Forest. You're going to enter the town and follow the left wall here towards this house with Morin right in front of it. Right to the side of the house, you'll find your first chest. Continue along the path here, and you'll see this next area next to Old Tree Echo. Your chest is actually right here in front of this little shelf of potions. And then if you follow the path just a little more around, you'll find the final chest actually up on a rock under the middle tree. Just use your mount to get up in there, and you can loot it. Onto the chest for Northern Ancient Forest, there are a total of 3. Once you enter Northern Ancient Forest from the Eastern Ancient Forest, you'll find the Mantiscythe pack here. Follow along the hive here and head towards the back. You'll also happen to possibly find an Ancient Mantiscythe here, but right next to this little hive piece the Ancient Mantiscythe spawns in front of, you'll find one of the chests. Next, we're going to go towards the center piece here with the tree there, and right next to this tree, kind of in there, would be your second chest. Taking the main road forward, we're going to leave the Mantiscythe hive area and move on to the next. It'll still have Mantiscythes, but it'll have the small ruins here. And up on the cliff over here will be your third and final chest, which you can jump up from the side here to get to. For the Moltan Fortress chests, there are a total of 4. Moltan's Fortress is right after Northern Ancient Forest, where all the Karza cult members are. Instead of following into the main base, we're going to go around the back on the right side where the waterfall is, and follow it around. Here, you'll turn the corner and see a large arc of a tree root, and right to the left, you'll find your first chest. Follow this path up for the second chest. And along the right side of the wall, you'll find the chest sitting on top of a cart. Follow the left path and head straight further into the base. Look to your right and you'll see a cart and a couple of boxes. Behind this cart and boxes is another chest. Moving around, do not head out left towards the centaurs, instead make a right towards the tents. There are 3 tents lined up. The smaller middle tent here will have the final chest behind it. Onto the Kabalama ruins, where the centaurs are, right at the entrance from the Karza cult Moltan Fortress. Tongue twisters here. We're just going to follow the path up here. There are a total of 4 chests. First one will be to our right in the structure on the left side over here. Walk to the back. You'll find your first one right there. From here, turn around and walk straight across. You could follow the road if you wanted to. This next one is well hidden. It's actually under here. You can fit even if you are mounted, but you have to walk under and then you can grab your chest. I get stuck like I did. There you go. Walk along this side, but you can absolutely get under here and grab that chest. Then exit the area and walk straight up this way. We're going towards the ruins up here. Once you get to this building, enter and look to your left. The chest will be right there along the wall. Exit and move to the left and circle around, and under a root right there, we will find the chest next to the ancient fallen centaur. Onto Rodney Falls path. Exiting Frail Village on the northeastern side, you'll enter Rodney Falls Path. 3 chests in this location. First chest will be on your right in this semi-village area. The chest will be located on the crates in the back. Follow the path forward a bit more, but stay to the right wall. Look to your right and the chest will be right there. You could jump up here to get it if you need to. The final tree will be on your left side of the same path, right up here next to these trees, and that should cover you for all 3. For the Dark Totem Hill chests, there are 2. Upon entering, once you go up the hill on the main path with these little wooden steps, I guess, make an immediate left and just follow this open plain towards the waterfall. In front of the totem here, there will be 1 chest. Follow the cliff for the river right here up until we get to the tree over here, and then we're going to go around that tree. This chest is actually located inside. Follow around the roots and it'll be right there. For the Twilight Village chests, there are a total of 4. Entering Twilight Village from Dark Totem Hill, make a right once you enter the opening of Twilight Village, and just follow the right wall all the way to the back. Once you hit the back here next to these 2 totems, there is actually a chest right behind it. Continue to follow this wall around till you get to this tall tree with houses on it. Climb up the hill, your second chest will be there. From the second chest, jump onto the ledge with the house on it, and around the side of that house is the 3rd chest. From here, jump down back onto this road and make a straight beeline diagonally to the totems here in the distance. When you get here, behind the totem is your 4th chest. For the Zelkova Branch chests, once you exit Twilight Village into Zelkova Branch, enter the small camp to your left and enter the tent on the right with Cosette, the general merchant. The chest will be right on his desk on the inside. From there, head south and take the path to the extra party dungeon-esque area. And right next to the tree here, before you enter that area, there'll be a chest in the bushes. For the Thule chests, there's a total of 4. We're going to start right at the beginning of Thule, outside of North Wind Hills. We're going to make an immediate left and just follow the wall for a short bit. Once you get to this split tree here with the candle in front, the first chest is right in between the 2 trees here. From here, we'll continue west and go towards all of the ruined debris, and the chest will be on top of here. The next 2 chests aren't too far, but we're gonna go straight north, get onto the main path, and then make a right. The chest we're looking for will be right next to all of the quest givers of the area, and Shine, the treasure hunter. The chest will be right here, behind the broken carriage. And finally, on this small hill with all the gravestones, will be the final chest to Thule. For the Thule outskirts chests, we're going to start right at the beginning of the outskirts, right when you exit Thule itself. You'll go into the ruins area over here, up the stairs, and right behind this wall is your first chest. From here, get back on the main road. And instead of following the curve of the main road, we're going to actually head a little left. And in this debris, right on top, is the chest. Back onto the main road, we're going to head towards the scenario dungeon here. As you see the portal, go ahead and walk towards it. It's going to be near the left pillars, next to the candles over here on the ground. That'll be your 3rd chest. Get back onto the main road and head towards the exit of Thule outskirts. And there's your final chest on top of the rock. For the Colossus Plains chests, once you leave Thule outskirts and you reach the small camp, make a right into the camp and you'll find your first chest here. Get back on the main road and follow it around. You'll be heading out towards the back of this watchtower. Once you get to the watchtower, there's an empty container, and next to the empty container is the 2nd chest. Finally, we're going to start heading out away towards the exit of Colossus Plains. So just head north. Once you start to leave Colossus Plains, your chest will be, as soon as it stops freaking out about loading the next area, chest will be on the right side. Hopefully yours doesn't freak out. For the final chest locations at Secret Plains, once you exit Colossus Plains and come through this gate, you're going to make an immediate right, and it's the first chest there. From here, I'm actually going to walk over to this location over here, and to the left of this chest is another chest. Then we're actually going to backtrack and head towards the city or village or camp, whatever we want to call it, which will be up at a right over here. Once you get here, we're going to go to the very top between these two tents, and the final chest will be located right here. To start our ancient monsters, we have the large-winged Kiratus. In Addison Farm, just walk along the main path as if you were going to Frail Village, but instead of making a right into Frail, we're going to walk towards this large rock. There's the building where you would get Lyra, and the ancient large-winged Kiratus is right there. Our second ancient monster is the ancient Frail Quow. Once you come out of Patty's farm into northern Frail grasslands, just follow the road straight, don't follow it around. Just leave the road and it will be to the rock on the left right there. For the third ancient monster, the Butterfly Fairy, we are going to start at the Quest Giver tent in southern Frail grasslands. Just make a left and follow the primary path. You'll see this rock and tree formation here along the main path, and the ancient butterfly spawns right in front of it. For the next ancient monster, Venus Flytrap, we're going to start at the Quest Givers in western ancient forest. And from here you'll see this tree that's slightly slanted. We're going to go around it here, and he'll be right behind it. Our next ancient monster, the Frenzied Flowwood. When you come out of the western ancient forest onto the main path of eastern ancient forest, it's literally on the right side when you get into eastern ancient forest. If you miss it, it's likely dead. It's just right at the entrance once it swaps over. Our next monster is the Mantiscythe. In order to get this one, you just enter northern ancient forest, and to your right is the nest of Mantiscythes. Just walk towards the back here, and eventually you'll come across the ancient one just kind of chilling along the wall there under this big hive structure. For the ancient Karza Cult Curse Master, we're actually going to start at the exit of Moltan's fortress into Kabalamo ruins where the centaurs are, but instead of going towards the centaurs, just turn around and walk back into the Karza base. You should actually see the ancient Karza Cult Curse Master next to a covered box of crates, and it should look familiar if you did chests. One of the chests is behind that third middle tent there, so should help you out. For the ancient fallen centaur warrior, halfway up the Kabalamo ruins on the main road, you'll see this structure here. Go to the right and make a right turn. You'll see a couple of flat kind of areas, and the ancient centaur will be on the left side behind here next to the trees. There'll be a chest there. For Tarkai, the field boss, when on Rodney Fall's path, you could head towards Dark Totem Hill or make a left up the summit here, and at the top of this fog-covered hill will be the world boss. Once you've climbed to the top, just leave the path on the right side and he'll be standing there as the Archer of Madness. The next ancient monster is the Bewitched Eagle Owl. Entering Twilight Village from Dark Totem Hill, make an immediate right and follow the right wall. In front of the building on this tree here will be a Bewitched Ancient Eagle Owl. The next ancient monster is the Deerhorn Dopher. On Northeast Wind Hill from the main road, you'll see that the Dophers spawn over here. One of your quests should take you up to the far hill to defeat a specific Dopher. If you actually turn to your right before you get to them, the ancient one will be back against this rock over here. The next ancient monster on the list is listed as Loafer, but actually it's a Rofin. It's a translation error. Hopefully they fix it on Star's Tales. If it's Rofin for you guys, it's good they fixed it. If not, Loafer is actually Rofin. That can be found immediately from entering Thule from North Wind Hills. You're going to head to your left and just head west until you see it on your right between these two trees. It's not very far. Our next ancient monster is the Black Smoke Veneer. On the Thule outskirts main path before it curves upwards towards the hill, where majority of the Veneers are and the quest givers are over here, just follow straight ahead and the ancient Veneer will be on your right side in the back of this area under the tree. For our next ancient, Karza Cult Master Swordsman in Kolos Plains, next to the Resurrection Stones where we'll start, you're just going to head up the hill, make an immediate left, and head towards this cannon. Next to the cannon will be your ancient monster. For the final ancient monster, Demon Follower Archer, once you enter Seacrat Plains from Kolos Plains, just head up north past these gates and your ancient archer will be awaiting you right there. Silmain, the Twisted Witch, from the ancient archer, head to the left, and she'll actually be standing right here. For our first viewpoint of Southern Frel Grasslands, near the tent where all the quest givers are, you're going to go to the right and around where the afflicted men are, and the viewpoint will be right behind this rock. For Moltan's Fortress, it's going to be where all the Karza cult members are. After you leave Northern Ancient Forest, you'll come across this fork road. Both paths lead into Moltan's Fortress. Make a right and follow along the backside into the fortress. And if you follow this path, you'll just bump into the viewpoint under the tree root here. For the third viewpoint, Twilight Village. As you enter Twilight Village from Dark Totem Hill, follow the main path straight. As you see the tall building here, in front of the door will be the viewpoint. More of a tall tree than a building. For the fourth viewpoint of Northeast Wind Hill, Shepherd Helpo and the exit of Thule are over here. You'll just head to the right out in the open area towards the cliff next to all the quaus. And up on the ledge over here should be our viewpoint. For the final viewpoint, Thule Outskirts, once you leave Thule into Thule Outskirts, it's literally on your right. It's not possible to miss. Our first Maglev adventure journal is Traces of the Uria Incident. That'll be found in Addison Farm. Right from the entrance, you'll see Natua with a blue exclamation point. Go ahead and talk to her. She'll give you the quest, to which now you have to find the first piece of the Knight's Journal in the Frail Grasslands. So we'll be heading over to the Northern Frail Grasslands. Once you get into Northern Frail Grasslands, as the road winds down, you'll see this rock on the side of the road. Right in front of it is going to be the first page. Interact with the page, it'll advance the quest. And now we'll head to Southern Frail Grasslands that will contain the fairies and our second page. As you enter the Southern Frail Grasslands, along our right side here against this wall, we're going to look for the next piece of paper. You should be able to see the encampment from there. It's just right on the right side from the main path will be our second journal. Our third and final journal will be south on the same road. We're going to make a left here. Should be around this rock here. There we are. You could actually just follow the main road, and it should be right there on your left side of the main road, and that will wrap up the Traces of Uria. Just report back to Natua to complete your Star's Tale. Our second Maglev adventure journal can be picked up during Traces of Uria Incident. Karza's Teachings is going to be in Northern Frail Grasslands before crossing this bridge to your left. It'll be given to you by Faust. Pick up the quest from him, and he'll send you on your way to find a stone. Old Man Faust's Karza Stone is located all the way in the eastern ancient forest, so travel from western straight to eastern. This is the entrance to eastern, and on your left side, right over by this tree, will be your Karza Stone. Once you pick it up, return to Faust. Once you return to Faust, he'll continue the quest, telling you to go to Frail Village and talk to Alchemist Roman. At Frail Village, when you come in from where Faust was, the auction house is here, just head towards the northern entrance, and it's actually Royman, even though it says Roman in the quest. It's a misspelled name or mistranslation. Talk to this guy, and he'll tell you to go back to Faust, so go back to Faust. Once you've returned to Faust, again, he'll continue the quest. This time, the quest says to kill... Oh, good, they updated it. Back when I did this quest, it told me to kill 10 of anything, but it's actually 10 specific butterflies. So head down to southern Frail Grasslands, and the butterflies will have queues above their head. So once you make it to the butterflies, as you can see, they have queues above their head. Commit mass genocide, kill the butterflies, fill the Karza Stone, don't forget to loot your stuff, and then go back to Faust once again. Return to Faust for the final time, and your quest is complete. For our third Maglev adventure, it's Atra and Karza. In Twilight Village, where the quest givers Dwig and Wagwi are, if you go towards, I believe that is called the Love Cave, you'll notice this owl way up here. It's very important to note that you need to have turned in Karza's teachings before grabbing this quest, or it will not exist. Find your way up here by any means. I'm going to fall back down and just climb up here. When you get to the top, you'll pick up your quest from Harrow. And you need to find the chaotic herb for the Karza Stone that'll actually be located in Dark Hill Totem. Or Dark Totem Hill, my bad. Once you exit Twilight Village into Dark Totem Hill, just follow the main path. You'll see possibly a mad eagle owl, or dad eagle owl. But the purple chaos herb you're looking for is right there. It's like pink, fuchsia, whatever. It's there. It's pink. Once you collect it, return to Harul, back in Twilight Village. Once we return to the owl, he'll give us a quest to slay 8 infected creatures, which are just below him. So get into your mass killing spree once again, and finish your quest. I may have forgot to mention also collect the slime. Return the slimes you've collected back to the owl, which he'll continue the quest to go find missing pieces. The energized missing pieces as noted in Northeast Windhill. Once you're in Northeast Windhill, follow the path straight north, past the Sanctum Guardians, and go towards the cliff where the dire tubing is, and right in front of him is a stone, and that stone is lootable. Pick it up and return to the owl. Once you return, you'll find that our owl friend is taking a little bit of a nap, and that will end our quest and give you your Star Tail. Our final Maglev adventure journal is Flowers of Respite. This will be found on Tori right before you enter Thule. So pick that up from him. Walk into Thule and let's begin. From the entrance of Thule, right as you enter, walk straight ahead towards this little crevice here. You can see my mouse is constantly changing. The first keepsake is right there. And then you'll need to find the second one. From the first keepsake, follow the main path north towards this candle area. There will be a sword in front of it. Inspect the sword for your second keepsake and proceed to the third. From the second keepsake, we're gonna break from the path and head a little bit west. We're going to walk towards this big tree here, and then make a right at the bridge. Cross that bridge to the root of a tree here, which has a shield on it. next to the guillotines. From there, report back to Tori to complete your quest. Tori is located at the entrance to Thule. To talk to him, turn it in, and you have your Star's Tale progress complete. For your Maglev adventure, anyway. To begin the Forgotten Story, we have Messenger's Letter. Just as a reminder, I am recording this during the Halloween event, so Frail Village will look a little different. The message is actually after you leave Ragferant into Randelio. It's right to your left, right before you get to the Messenger's Corpse, before you even get to Addison Farm. Then, once you've collected that and you've had the buff, make sure that you cross the bridge and just follow the road all the way into Frail Village. Once you get up this area here, turn around to your left, and right next to the tree will be a small sparkling bit. This will be the last part of the message. Trader's Tombstone Forgotten Story. We're going to start at the Mushroom Vine Village eastern exit and go into Eastern Ancient Forest. And we're just going to head straight. The area we're going towards is the small scenario dungeon where you fight some flowwood flowers down there. But the tombstone's actually right at the root of this tree. And we start here, make sure you got your quest. It says Trader's Tombstone, and we begin our journey. This is a very long journey, so just follow along if you can. So once you come across all the mantis sides, the tombstone is actually up on this hill right next to the Queen's Hive. Once you've looted that, get back onto the main road and continue your long journey. You're going to make a right here before you get into the Karza cultist base. Right where the waterfall is, you're going to make a right, and it'll be on the cliff here. After we've looted this one, we're going to get back on the main road, and again, we're going on a very long journey. This time we're headed up towards the centaurs. Once you reach the centaurs here, you're going to make a right. We're actually going to head in between the two crossroads towards this tree. Under this tree, next to its roots, is the final tombstone. Our next Forgotten Story is the legendary Raccoon King. In Rodney Falls Path, as you enter from Frail Village, on your left side is a sparkling... I guess just sparkles. It's the legendary Raccoon King. You get your buff. Make sure that you have it before you move on. We're heading towards Dark Totem Hill. Just follow along if you can. It is a long journey. Once you get to the back of Dark Totem Hill, behind this building is a large raccoon statue. Interact with this statue. Then mount back up and head towards the second half of Dark Totem Hill. Once you get to this fork in the road and see this giant tree with the house, you're just going to walk behind it. And keep walking towards the back wall. You'll see this little totem here. Behind the totem in the grass is a tombstone. That'll be the final piece. The next Forgotten Story, the Saintess's Souvenir, is a bit complicated in terms of it having buff removal locations. So you're going to need to follow exactly what I do in order to not lose the buff. We'll start at Thule at the very beginning, right from exiting North Wind Hills. And you're going to turn the corner, very much like you did for the ancient one. Rolfin over there. And over here should be a sword in the ground. I believe it's a sword. I forget. It's something in the ground. Yeah, it's a sword. From there, once you've collected the sword, depending on where you go, can remove the buff. So you need to make sure that you have the Saintess's Souvenir on at all times. We're going to head up north this way. Normally I'd fast forward, but you need to know that where you go is very important. You cannot pass this way, past this candle, or it'll remove the buff. You also cannot walk over any of the tombstones that activate a zombie. So you're going to follow over this way towards the tree, dodge that tombstone, and walk along the river, turn left, and you'll find your second piece here. Again, very important where you go, it can remove the buff. You're going to turn around and follow the river, stay below this hill, but do not go to the right. Watch out for the tombstone here, make a left and get onto the road. Stay on the road, make a hard left, and make your way towards the outskirts of Thule. Once you pass this wooden bridge, on your right you'll see a portrait. Go ahead and interact with that. From there, we'll take the path heading north. We should be clear of any buff removals, so that we should still have it. Just verify and head into the next area. From here, we're looking for the broken flag to our right. And that should wrap us up. Next up in the Forgotten Story, we have Frail Village Graffiti Battle. Here we're going to start at Frail Village's auction house. To the right side around the back, you'll notice some glowing on this little stand area here. Go ahead and just interact with it. You'll begin the buff for it. Make sure that you have the buff. There'll be some text that pops up. We're going to go up around the hill across the bridge to Dilt's house. This is probably one of my favorite lore bits. Once you reach Dilt's house at the side here, you're just going to need to jump onto the ledge and interact, or have your entire thing glitch out on you, because that's always fun. There we go. Once you've got that, head back towards the auction house. Once you get to the auction house, you can just jump back down over here. We actually want to go to the warehouse area over here. So we're going to jump down. The warehouse should be in there. And along the back side here will be another sparkling bit. Get it? And then directly down from here is the final piece. If you didn't catch the lore to this one, essentially kids are trying to prove how brave they are, and on this final bit, kid fell off the cliff. Presumably dead. Good stuff. And then you just mount up and get back out of here, and you're done. For the Wanderer's Diary Chapter 3, we'll start in southern Frail Grasslands, next to all the quest givers. Make a left and you'll see on this gigantic rock there's a small way to get up here, and there should just be a note on the top. So we'll start your Wanderer's Diary. Always verify your buff is correct. We're going to follow this path for a short bit and then make a left towards all the tents. Once you're here with the tents and the cages, the final page should be behind the cages. For the Chapter 4 Wanderer's Diary, we're going to start next to Shine, the treasure hunter in Thule, along the main path. If you look to the right, there is a waterfall of what seems to be blood, and a note right behind that waterfall. This will start the Wanderer's chapter. From here, get back on the main path of Thule and head to the Thule outskirts. Break off the main path once you come across these ruins, and your notes will be right behind these pillars. And that should wrap you up. For the last forgotten story, In Search of Qualls is actually found in northeast Windhill before Thule. After exiting the Zelkova branch and entering the northeast Windhill, to your left you may have noticed this book under the tree. This will start the In Search of Quall. From here, actually need to cut across as if you're going to Thule. You could follow the road all the way around. This is significantly faster. From here, you're going to make a right to where all the quails are and pass them up and go towards the cliff. Near the bushes at the cliff by the rock is the second book. To begin our collectible table, we need the Kiratis Big Winged Leather. You just need to go to the leather crafting, and to make it, you will need a total of 15 gathering materials. You'll find these off of the large winged Kiratis here in Addison Farm, next to the ancient winged Kiratis. Our next collectible item is the Fairy Yellow Pollen. This is crafted under the cooking section. For yellow pollen, you'll need a total of 30. The drop comes from drunk butterfly fairies. Compared to the other fairies in southern frail grasslands, these ones stand on their own, so if they're alone, take them out. Our third collection piece is flow-tailed flowers. This can be crafted out of the cooking craft. Under here, you'll need a total of 40. For these, you'll find the Sprig Crocos Flowwoods in Eastern Ancient Forest. There are a total of 3 different flowwoods here, and only the Sprig Crocos Flowwood drops them, not the Sprig Anemone or the Frenzied Flowwood. I apologize if I butcher any names here. Brain doesn't pronounce things well. Anyways, so the Sprig Crocos are the only ones. They specifically have pink flowers on their back. They can be found all along the Eastern Ancient Forest, so go to town, but just make sure that you're killing them specifically, or else you'll just be getting nothing out of the others. For our next collectible is the Horn of Centaurs. You'll actually find this under the Carpentry skill, Horn of Centaur. You'll need a total of 15. In order to get these, simply kill any centaur in the area, and they should be able to drop them. Very simple. They're located in Kabalama Ruins right after Molten Fortress, which is the Karza cult, or you can actually come down from Frail Village in the southeastern exit. Next on our collection list is the Skulltula's Wings. Here you craft it off of the leatherworking skill, and you'll need a total of 40. Skulltulas, or tamed ones, are located in Dark Totem Hill, just about everywhere. They lay on the rocks, they just fly around. Kill them, you need about 40, and you can craft your item. For the next collectible item, you need Black Smoke Veneer Hoof. This can be found in the blacksmithing crafting. You will need 30 of these hooves. Unfortunately, this is one of the harder ones to do. If you follow the main road until you turn left, where the chest is on top of this section, this is probably the best place to hunt. You'll get 4 veneers nearby, and there's a couple over in the location to your left, and then there'll be some more up the road, so that you can kill these, move over to the side, and then up the road. What makes it difficult to hunt these is that other ones are surrounded by a lot of aggressive boars, so unless you're level 50, it's a pain, plus they are not a common drop, and these are a very uncommon enemy here, with this being the highest populated area. So good luck with that. Once you've collected 15, you can craft it. The final item to collectibles is the Tiny Crown of Tober. In Northeast Windhill, as you pass the structure with Sanctum Guardians, head straight, do not follow the main path around, and you will find the Dire Tubing. Farm him, and he has a likely chance of dropping the item you need. It's not craftable, so once you get it, it'll be in your quest item tab, and just use it. Our first loot item is Big Grandpa's Beard, crafted from the Carpentry skill. This requires 5 Big Grandfather flowers, which is found in Eastern Ancient Forest, as a pickup, and then you need the Leaves of Big, purchased from Frail Village Miscellaneous Vendor for 5,000 Asper. Now, of course, the Big Grandfather flowers are going to be really hard to find, so what I can do is just give you one location, and hopefully you can find some screenshots of other locations. They do respawn in some locations you find, but it only seems that one will spawn in an area at a time until it's picked up, then another one will spawn elsewhere. So I'm at the exit of Eastern Ancient Forest that goes to Northern Ancient Forest right here. And coming down, if you stay on the left side of the wall here, you'll actually find one right under, kind of under this root. It is a pink flower, kind of like all the other pink flowers around here, that's just lootable, gives you a bag sign. Other than that, just good luck finding it. Sometimes they're slightly floating off the ground if you're lucky to find it, but it can be found almost anywhere in the Eastern Ancient Forest. Just run along the walls, or, you know, just pay attention to areas, try to find pink flowers. Hopefully they're not too hard, but with these smaller pink flowers around that don't do anything, it could be a little difficult to find. Next on the loot table is the Twilight Pinecone Village Tree, which can be crafted in carpentry. Here you're going to need 5 Twilight Pinecone Village Tree branches, I guess, and then the big pinecone. The big pinecone is actually the 30% reward for doing Star's Tale, so you should already have that, and then you will need 5 Twilight Pinecones. From the quest givers in Twilight Village, if you walk straight across here, you should be able to see one spawn here at least. Now, they do spawn sporadically around the entire area, and usually only one will be spawned in the area that I could find at any given time. But just loot these and you can keep coming back to this location as it respawns, and hopefully you can get it done, or swap channels and hope that it's there. But you need 5 of those, craft it, and you're done. On to the next loot, Tula's Clerk Records. This is going to be one of the harder ones to find since this is very random. I've only ever found this book in Thule, but people say you can find it in the Thule outskirts as well. I found it in a different location than where I found it now, but I'm going to show you one location I can do right now, and hopefully you find an extra copy of it so you'll know what you'll look like. I'm going to start from the Thule entrance here, and I'll ignore the main path and just take this side road immediately. And from here, when I get to the Encroacher and the Rofin, there's one book that spawns right here in this corner. Loot the book, and you're done. Well, actually, open up your quest menu and make sure you use it. For the last 4 loot items, it kind of goes like this. The insignia you will need to buy from the miscellaneous merchant. The blue lapis lazuli is also just outright bought, but just a chance that you actually get it from what you buy. The Tarkai's red arrow is from the field boss Tarkai. You will need 2 pieces, and you'll need to craft from the archaeology special crafting. You will need the blood arrowhead, which comes from the Tarkai field boss, and then you need Arrow of the Centaur, which is purchased from the miscellaneous merchant. Then you'll need the Wand of the Witch, which is also from Silmayan. That will be from leatherworking, which is staff. You'll need the Cursed Horn, which is found at the 60% of this Star Tale, so if you get that far, you'll have 1/2 of it, but then you'll need the Broken Staff, which is found off the witch herself. So in order to get the rest, the Silver Knight's insignia will be found here. Silver Knight's arrow insignia. For the lapis lazuli, you'll actually need to craft it. It's going to be one of the items. I totally forgot to grab that for you, but it'll be under jewel crafting. Blue lapis lazuli, you'll need the exclusive piece and the ore. The exclusive piece, 50,000 asper. For the insignia, 200,000 asper. And for the other loot parts of the tree from before when you were gathering on the ground, you'll need 5,000 for the grandfather tree. Go to page 2, there's the arrow of the centaur, and then on top of that, you'll have the ore box. This is the box that you will need to purchase many of. It's a random chance that when you open this box, it will have the blue lapis lazuli second piece that you need. Purchase enough of these, hopefully it drops early for you, and you get that done. If you've done all of that, wrapped up your 4 final loot collections, that should put you at 100% congratulations at getting your 3-star Rhoda, Papelia, and 4-star Corvus. Thank you everybody for watching. If this guide helped you out, please let me know in the comments down below. Give me any feedback. I know the echoing of my voice can be a bit annoying, so I apologize for that. I will be finishing all the Star's Tales. I know that it's been a long time before I got the second page done, but I was in the process of moving and there was a lot of stuff going on that kept me away from doing this. It takes a very long time. If you want to support me in making these guides for Astellia and, well, any other video game, consider joining my Patreon. I'll link it in the description down below. Any dollar really helps to keep the bills going and gives me a way to do these guides, which are not necessarily videos that make a whole lot of views and income, especially with, you know, adpocalypse and all that shenanigans. And plus, I allow my patrons to make requests for guides for games I may not do on the go. So thank you all once again. If you like what I do here, please hit that like button. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and as always, good game.